Yo, don't let the label you, December 7, and I'm so hyped still to this moment. What a fucking battle. We have Quill, we have the Saurus, international battle. It's been a while since we had one in Berlin. First off, a question to both of you. What's the first impression you had?
Incredible crowd, man. Like, walked into the building, it was almost overwhelming. Like, you told me an idea of what to expect, and it exceeded my expectation. It was unbelievable, man.
Sick.
Yeah, absolutely the same, man. Walk into the building and I'm just like, oh my God, wow. And to be honest with you, I was nervous before, but I'm someone who kind of thrives off the big occasion. So when I saw how big it was, I was like, wow, okay, I'm ready for this. Such an honor. I'm so happy. So happy.
Well, so are we, man, for sure. So one thing I was kind of almost worried about is that you guys, obviously saw the legendary Pat Stay moment with make some noise if you have AIDS. So I thought, oh man, I hope they don't come here.
I wore my Pat hoodie.
Yeah, rest in peace, man.
I didn't want to, people were telling me you need to make reference to that. And I was like, well, it wasn't on this league, but I'm going to pay tribute to Pat in my own way. It's, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, rest in peace, what a legend. So you came to this battle kind of knowing, did you change your pen game a little bit because of the crowd?
A tiny bit. I feel like after being in the battle, I feel like I now know a bit more what they're after. But yeah, no, it's just amazing. Obviously my second round, I do antics anyway, right? But it's mostly for a specific reason. It's mostly because there's fans there, been going 10. I mean, he's been battling for 20 years, right? So even he's probably seen everything, but he's never seen that before. So, we're having fans coming up saying, oh, I love that UFC angle and stuff. So it's just nice to give them something they've never seen before. And yeah, because obviously, I mean, I'm sure you're the same. You don't really know because you don't know how many people are going to understand English, and when they do, what are they going to understand of it? There were some things they didn't understand, but there was a lot that they did. And yeah, it's a real magic experience to be a part of this, and I feel so blessed to be a part of it. And the way it played out just went amazing from both sides. For Saurus was amazing. The crowd seemed to love what I did, so I'm just so happy.
Yeah, same to you. Preparing to the battle, was it a bit of a conundrum? Oh, can I take this? Can I say this? Will they not understand this shit? You not give a fuck? Really?
To me, I feel like I've been around for long enough to where I show up to do what I do, and I'll make adjustments depending on setting and stuff like that. But for the most part, the people who have grown up watching me or whatever the case may be, they know what I do and what they want to see, so I'm not going to stray from that and give them a dumbed down version. I feel like that's almost insulting to my own audience, So it's really just about trying not to I was just trying to not overthink while I was writing. Just prepare the way I normally do, not overthink it and not think, is this going to work here for this reason? If it does, so be it, and if it doesn't, so be it. I thought we got incredible reaction in all the spots pretty much that I expected to begin with. We were getting great reactions on our setups as well, and just the energy the whole time was so good. It was encouraging. There was one small hiccup where it was just an easy recovery, hop onto the rhyme scheme with a 2-bar freestyle and then right back into it, and Quill did the exact same thing. There was no dead spots or dry space, and that was my biggest concern,
I think that's one thing that impressed a lot of the people here, because I mean, battle raps, we've been doing this for 10 years. Our league's had a 10th birthday just recently, but still it's kind of new. So seeing you guys stumble, kind of lose it, but then come straight back in and keep the momentum, that was quite impressive to a lot of people. I've heard a few voices say that.
Multiple people have come up and said that your freestyle recovery into the rhyme scheme that you had written for, and we both did that multiple times.
It's also I mean, you want to be clean, right? And it doesn't mean it's not perfect, because it's not, right? Because you're giving them another skill level. Exactly. So you slip up, which happens when you're performing in front of this many people, doesn't matter who you are, and then you're showing another skill level to be A, I'm freestyling, B, I'm grabbing it back again. Preparing for Saurus is you're talking about not changing your style. I mean, I don't want to disrespect it, but in my head, I'll say Saurus probably known for having 4-bar setups, very traditional style, but it's so difficult to do because it's the multis that he's doing is ridiculous. And I just want to say just that preparing for you was so fun, because I'm watching your battles, I'm just fuck, this is good. So when you people like to battle people they don't like, but then you're preparing, you're this guy's trash, but I'm watching for Saurus yeah, this is good, man. So it's
preparing for you.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff thing's been on the cards for a while, at least in my head. It hasn't actually been, it was quite recently fixed, but I remember that you wrote us about 3, 4, 5 years ago saying, "Oh, I'd love to come out," and I've been a fan of yours for a while as well. So I was like, "Oh, I'd love to do that." And with you, I remember I asked you maybe the first time a while ago, and you just said, "I'll be up for it," and that I was like, "Okay, let's keep that in mind." And we were thinking back and forth, who should you battle? Who should you battle? It ended up being a perfect matchup, you know.
Yeah, it made sense. I thought it actually made sense. Like we've both battled so many people as well, and like he's battled every staple in the UK scene. It's good for Quill to be getting more international looks as well. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a shorter list for people. For me in the UK to battle who makes sense, and he's like right at it's him, Soul. Those are like the top people in the UK for me to battle. You know?
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like it felt like it was a feel-good battle as well. Like it just, it had that vibe where, everyone's enjoying it. I'm enjoying his material. He's enjoying my material. And those battles are so fun to watch back, and they have replay value. They're my favorite type of battles to be involved in. And where was I going? I was going to say something else as well. But yeah.
I mean, there's one thing in Germany that people aren't quite used to yet is unjudged battles. Like we're starting to, incorporate them more and more because I'm kind of a fan of it. I think it's sometimes a bit of a waste of time.
Yeah.
You guys are obviously very, very experienced battle rappers. You both have done judged as well as unjudged. What's your take on judged versus unjudged, both of you?
Can I go first? Yeah. Sorry, yeah. So I'm not a big fan of judged battles. I think on certain occasions when it has to be done, so like title matches, of course, but I don't particularly like it, because I think there's so many different styles, there's so many different ways you can judge it. I battled Marlowe, and you could argue both cases, but one person has to take an L, and for me personally, I don't like it. But I tell you one thing I really find interesting out here is when you did the judge battles, you get the judges coming up straight after the battle, and you're going to the battlers, and they're saying, "This is why I think you won." Yeah. So different to anything I've seen before, and I kind of like it because the judges kind of have to, they have to hold the balls in their hand and just say, "Yo, this is what I think." There's no hiding away. It's really new experience for me, and I quite enjoyed that.
Well, it's kind of similar to back in the day grind time. Exactly.
It's very grind time. It was literally immediately following the battle, film the judgments, and they were like slightly off stage, but the battlers were still within ear's range of hearing the judgments. As far as judge battles, I completely agree with Quill though. Like, I don't prefer them overall, but they are essential and necessary for any time something tangible is on the line. A title, you have to do it. If there's like a cash prize involved, or they want to bet against each other, the line that makes it tough is that at the end of the day, it's art and it's performance art. Yeah. So when you're just selecting 5 or 7 random judges, there's no telling how an individual's material is going to resonate with all of them, let alone one by one. Like you'll have 5 different interpretations of the same battle from 5 judges, and that's where it makes it hard to have like a definitive judgment. Like more often than not in matchups where battles didn't need to be judged, a lot of them would be super debatable anyways, and it would be like, okay, well then what was the point of that? The YouTube audience is always going to be louder than these 5 people. Exactly, yeah. It makes sense that like when there's something tangible on the line, it has to be done, for sure.
And can I just add to that as well? I feel like also sometimes if it's judged, I think like a lot of battlers, it limits their creativity as well. Me, I'm kind of someone who's like, I kind of do what I'm gonna do, and if I take the L, so be it. But like, do you know what I mean? I'm still gonna dress up like Bruce Buffer. But I think a lot of battlers are gonna be like, all right, how do I win this battle? I need to do it like this, and that
formula, basically.
Exactly. And as Saurus said, it's an art form. So I think they then take it from an art form to almost being like a study piece.
Yeah. So you've heard it from some, experienced vets. You don't have to judge every fucking battle. It's still a battle. Because in Germany, it's like almost like, oh, it's like a friendly game. People don't take it seriously. That's bullshit, right? As an MC, you want to, perform your best, and you want to fucking kill no matter what 5 people say.
Like knowing how the battle rap world works, the viewing audience at home is always going to be larger than the in-venue audience at the end of the day. So you're weighing in like so many thousands of opinions. It just become like those voices are always going to be loud about what they disagree with, and even louder about what they agree with. So you just kind of remove that headache from the equation.
I even find, sorry we're going on about it, but like I even find like sometimes if a battler, maybe if it's close and then someone takes the L, then the audience almost like more in favor of the person that took the L as well. So it's just kind of like it takes it alters people's perspective of the battle as well.
For sure. Quill, you've it's not your first battle overseas, right? You've had a few as well. Did you like do some research into German, the league and shit like that, or is it just like doesn't make no difference to you where you battle? That's going to be the same Quill.
Well, I've seen Don't Let the Label you a few times. I did just briefly go over it again just to see the crowd and that. I'll say the writing, I mean, there was quite intricate bits in there. I'll hope Saurus might say there's some of the best Saurus bars they had, but there was maybe a bit of simplifying just because I know there's a language barrier, but not much. It's still pretty high level writing because I wouldn't be true to myself if not.
I appreciate that a lot for sure. I mean, I don't want people coming here and dumbing down their shit, you know.
No, exactly. No.
Saurus, that's kind of fucking crazy. 5 battles in 5 different countries in 5 months. Yeah, is that just normal for you?
No, that's not normal for me. The way it ended up lining up, I feel like this year in particular has been a big year for me. Just in general, one of my biggest in the written era, if not maybe the biggest that I've had. And once we confirmed, then messaged me, and then Australia reached out, and I was like, oh wow, if I can plan these things around each other, and then organic hits me too, and it's like, okay, we can do it as long as everything is spaced out properly enough.
That's 1 month in between.
Yeah, I mean, for some there was less. There was 2 weeks between Australia and England.
That's nothing.
But a month between England and here. Okay. And yeah, I mean, my work rate is pretty, like my turnover rate is pretty absurd.
Don't try this at home, kids.
Yeah, definitely don't try that shit.
I recommend it. And I'm happy I get to kick my feet up for the rest of the year and just like enjoy myself, enjoy the holidays. No more battles until next year. And I don't think this will be something I plan to do like regularly.
How was the jet lag, by the way?
It's brutal, for sure. It's like early morning for me right now. Yeah. So and like, 3 weeks ago I was in London, which is very similar. But then 2 weeks before that I was in Australia for a week, which is 18 hours difference. And then being back in the States too, where I'm on a Vegas time schedule that is not normal. Like a poker player schedule isn't normal whatsoever to begin with. So I sleep pretty minimally as is.
Not one poker bar, by the way. Not one poker lyric. Yeah.
I'm actually surprised.
Yeah, so there you go. Talk about not dumbing down your writing. That's me trying to be strict to not, I don't want to say the typical, stereotypical bars. Yeah, so not one poker bar.
I was surprised you didn't have. I was super worried when I opened with the Peter Quill. I thought for sure you were gonna have one.
And when you flip, I was expecting you to say it.
When you decided to go first, I was like, oh fuck, I hope he doesn't have a Peter Quill, because it's literally my first 4 bars, Oh, I was so glad.
The thing is, Quill was such a hard name to flip as well, so you have to let him have his bit. And you did a sick one as well. I can't remember off the top of my head because obviously it's such a blur, but you had like with the feather. Well, first you had like the
punch that he writes is light as a feather.
That's one thing for the German people. Not everyone knows Quill is a feather pen. Like like that's
ink. Was it ink?
Oh, I don't think Quill uses ink well as it. It's something like that. Yeah.
There was a lot of bars. I think you guys have to rewatch it. We're going to chat on for a long time, after the title match, because we've got a fucking title match coming on.
That's gonna be
this has been a fucking amazing battle. It's an honor. Thank you guys. Honestly. Hey, and I said it's not, if you guys want to, definitely not the last time. I'd be honored to have you back. And next time, one promise next time, we're not going to do fucking December. It's going to be a nice summer event where the Berlin's a lot more enjoyable. Yo.
And I'll bring the antics back as well.
Hey, bro, it was sick.
Anytime, you just let me know.
This is one of the reasons we do this shit, because I'm a fan and I love this. You guys comment, go on Google Translate, rewatch the bars 1,000 times. Don't let the label you. Quill, Thesaurus, let's go.